On the air since 19. This is 105.3, 95.3 WDXE.
And as promised, Stanley's in the house. Stanley Wilson, good morning to you, brother.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Harvest Financial Hour, a show about health, wealth, and community.
I like that. Health, wealth, and community. We'll take it.
We don't have much on health today, as you know, we're specimens of health, right?
Yes, we are pictures of health.
But I'm sorry I missed last week.
I wish I was a picture of wealth too.
I know.
You can make that happen, though, can't you?
We can try to get there.
We'll try to get there. We'll get the health, and then we'll get the wealth, and the health and the wealth go together.
Enjoy your wealth while you're healthy.
That's right. That's right.
I've seen too many people wait and retire, and then they want to go do something, and then unfortunately they come down with some bad health, and they can't enjoy their retirement.
Yeah. Unfortunately for some, that's true. And so you do need to take care of yourself as well as your finances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So there you go.
Your most important. I learned this years and years ago. I said, "What is your biggest asset?" I would ask my clients that question. What is your biggest asset? And they think, "Well, my house. I've got some land."
And that's what we normally think.
I said, "No." He said, "It's your ability to get up every day and go to work and earn an income. Your income, your ability to earn an income is your biggest asset.
Yeah.
When that's taken away, then all those other things are in jeopardy."
That's a good thought. And of course that depends on your health and well-being.
Right. I mean, I was suggesting disability insurance way back then, and still do for people.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's you have your house insured, you have your car insured. You need to have your income insured, because if you lose your income, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
So
I haven't looked a lot into that disability insurance. Is that a big category with
it is for people. Yeah. Unless you've got some passive income coming in.
Yeah.
When I say passive, that's money that's coming in that you didn't really have to go break a sweat for.
Yeah.
Your money's making money, or you got rental property,
Right.
bringing in something, or or a pension, a check, or whatever.
Yeah.
From years past. So
Yeah.
that's passive income.
Our worlds kind of mesh together because a lot of people financially invest in real estate. And of course, and you probably have funds that are real estate related that people invest in, things like that.
Yeah, there's something called REIT,
RET.
REIT.
REIT, yes.
Real Estate Investment Trust.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
you can invest in those too.
Yeah, those are sometimes popular.
Yep.
And there's lots of areas to invest in.
Well, people, especially younger people, they want to, they buy their first house, and then they get their equity up in that house, and they think, okay, let's go buy some rental property now.
Yeah.
So let's go buy a little house, we'll fix it up,
Yeah.
and either flip it or rent it out, and all those things are good because it makes you money. But
Yeah.
when you're younger, you got the energy to do it.
Yeah. There was
Later
a point,
on at our age, we're like, man, we don't want to have to go down there and paint and change the windows out. And
Right. So start young.
Yeah.
Start young. That's good advice, no doubt. No doubt about it. Stanley Wilson, everybody, with Harvest Financial, and of course this is his hour. But by the way, before we get too far, how would people reach you?
931-242-4495.
242-4495.
Yeah, we're getting our office getting close. I'm gonna sell a bunch of junk, and I have a person that brought some clothes in there. And she's gonna sell them at 105 West Point Road.
Yeah, 105. That's right there at the corner.
The old hairdresser shop.
That's right. It's not going to be hard to find at all.
No,
it's not going to be hard to find at all.
I tell you what, that's one of the busiest corners in Lawrence County.
It really is. I come through there every morning.
Do you really?
Yeah, because I live out Deerfield.
Oh, okay.
And so I come off the highway and go by the school,
Yeah.
the David Crockett School, and right past the Quick Mart there. And you're just right there on that corner. And
Yep.
that is a busy corner.
Right, less than a mile from the bypass right there.
There's a lot of people that live on the west. And
You know what I see a lot of is RVers.
yeah,
They come in off the bypass going to Crockett
Oh, yeah.
State Park, and I see RVers coming. I see them leaving,
yeah.
and that's good to see that the park's being utilized for
It
campers.
is. We're blessed to have the park right here in city limits. That's pretty cool.
Now I see a lot of ambulances go by headed toward West Point, and all the people ATVing and four-wheeling out there and unfortunately having wrecks. And
Yeah.
I said, why don't they just build a substation for the ambulance people out there and be quicker response?
Yep.
You don't have to man it, just man it on the weekend.
I think my four-wheeling days are over.
Well, I've done that too. And it's fun.
We have one, but I'd put her around the pasture in it. You know?
Yeah.
But I'm not jumping anything.
Yeah, you're just using it to get out.
I'm using it to go places.
Yeah. Well, last week was a busy week in sports.
Yeah, I want to ask you, you keep up with local sports quite heavily, and not just local, but I want to ask you about some others too. So fill us in on where we are.
Well, Summertown came up short in the softball. They won one game, and I think they lost 2 games. Marion County was their nemesis. And but congratulations to those young ladies up there in Summertown.
They went a long way.
They did.
They went a long way.
And the Lawrence County boys made it to the state tournament for the first time since 1977.
That's right.
And unfortunately, they didn't. The rain played havoc on their 2 games that they had. Well, actually, the second game.
Yes.
But they made it to the state tournament. They're only losing 1 senior, and so they should have a good
strong team next
year. Yep.
Yep. So they're having tryouts again today, I guess, for next year's team.
Yep.
Daniel wants to try out. I told him, I said, look, that's a competitive spot, buddy. Don't get your hopes up too big, but we'll go try, okay? We'll go try.
Well, you don't know until you try.
You don't try, I'm going to let him try, so that's what we'll do. But yeah, we're excited for those boys to get back at it, no doubt about it. Babe Ruth season's coming up, so Daniel's going to play there.
There you go.
For sure.
Now, how young is he?
He's 15.
Okay.
Yeah, he's 15. He's got a ways to go yet, so he may have more opportunities at it.
So what grade's he going to next year?
I guess he's basically a freshman, right? We homeschool.
Oh, you homeschool. Okay.
We homeschool.
Okay.
Yeah. So
he's going to go try out for the high school.
Yeah, you can do that.
So what if he makes the team? Then he'll want to go enroll in school, you think?
Well, no, you don't have to.
I understand that, but I mean, he may have that desire to.
I don't know.
Be around his teammates.
He may be. He may be. So we'll just have to wait and see, I guess.
Okay.
Have to wait and see.
Well, I guess you heard the news about the women's softball, college softball.
College softball. Tell me that.
Tennessee and Alabama made it.
Oh boy.
But the big news was Mississippi State beat Oklahoma, who was a perennial powerhouse in softball because they have the World Series over in Oklahoma City anyway.
Okay.
But Oklahoma didn't make it this year.
Oh, okay.
Mississippi State knocked them out.
I saw
Alabama and Tennessee, and all of them start Thursday, tomorrow.
Start tomorrow.
Yeah.
What about Tennessee baseball?
They didn't make it.
They didn't.
I don't think. They're doing super regionals for baseball. That's where they get like 4 teams at one location.
Okay.
I know Alabama's hosting and Auburn's hosting, but I don't know.
Was it last year that Tennessee won it?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
2 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was, I guess. You know, that was
They
pretty
lost
cool.
their coach to the Giants.
Yeah.
And so that changed the dynamics at in the baseball team.
Yeah, it did. I'm sure. I can't imagine. I've always thought that it would be big time fun if I could just choose a career that I wanted to say. If you had your dream career, it would be being a big time college or NFL football coach.
Oh yeah.
That would be like the dream job.
The assistants. I mean, you go get your bachelor's degree.
Yeah.
And more likely, these assistant coaches, of course, have been playing. You know, they were players.
No, yeah.
And then they some of them don't make it to the pros.
Yeah.
And so they'll go back and go get their master's degree, and then they qualify to be an assistant coach. And those guys are making $1 million a year being an assistant coach on an SEC football squad.
Wouldn't that be fun? That would be the most. That would just be so much fun.
Even in some of the lower ones are getting paid $500,000. So it's unreal how much money goes through there.
It is, but it's a money making machine.
And considering you pay your head coach about $10 million.
Yeah.
So
yeah, some of them they say are worth it. I guess.
Some of them are.
Some of them are not. Anyway, well, back to finances. I had a question call in earlier. You said you may have some info on Social Security issues and taxing and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to talk about when to take your Social Security, and there's something going on right now the government is offering that's kind of a lack of a better word, it's a con job on the people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we'll go over that too.
Okay, all right. And I'm sure that we can take phone calls, 766-9393 if someone's
may not
got a
have all the
specific-
answers.
May not have all the answers, but we'll get them. We can find out.
But the a couple of big things local. Well, one thing's not local, but if you're a Braves fan,
Oh,
Bob Horner died.
who?
Bob Horner. Bob Horner was
I've heard of him.
He played back in the late 70s for the Braves in the 80s. He was the #1 draft pick, I think, in 1978, and he skipped the minor leagues. He came out of Arizona State College,
Yeah.
and he went right to the pros. He never even played one inning of minor league baseball.
Yeah.
And he passed away. That's the third Braves in the family. Ted Turner first, and then
Yep.
Bobby Cox passed away. Now
Yep,
Bob
yep.
Horner has passed away for the
Yeah.
Braves. The
Yeah.
Braves keep winning.
And they do keep my daughter Missy is taking Shepard and Daniel. They're going to the Braves game coming up pretty soon. They've got, I think they're going to be playing Montreal when they go down there, but I forget what it is. But it's coming up pretty soon. They're taking a trip down there to watch the Braves game. We went down there for Daniel's 13th birthday and sat in the gosh, what's it called? We sat on the over the right field home run fence.
The Chop House.
The Chop House.
Yeah.
That is the most fun place to sit and watch a ball game, to me.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Daniel got thrown a ball from one of the players during the warm-ups,
Well, that's cool.
all that, so it was kind of fun.
Yeah, that's fun.
We went to a couple of games down there, and one of them was at the Chop House there, so it was like, that's a good place to sit, to me.
Yeah, this is good. The first game I ever saw was in 1971, and of course Hank Aaron was still playing for the Braves back then.
Oh, wow.
And we sat in the left field bleachers, and my mother thought, "Oh, there's Hank Aaron." I said, "No, Mother, that's Ralph Garr, the left fielder. Hank Aaron's over in right field." Excuse
Yeah.
me. He's over in right field.
Yeah.
So I was probably 8 years old or something.
Oh, wow.
Like that.
Oh, wow. I remember the game where he hit the breaking
Oh
home
yeah,
run.
74.
Yeah, I remember watching that.
That was on a Monday night when they had Monday Night Baseball.
I tell you what I saw just this past week or so was a clip of Ryan Weathers picking off a base runner.
Yeah.
Did you see that clip?
Yes.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Gosh, what a smooth move.
I've seen that move
He
many a time.
nailed him so quick.
Yep. He's got the best move.
Well, you know, that guy was trained by one of the best.
Oh, yeah. Well, speaking of that,
Yeah.
tomorrow night, you may not know this, that Lawrence County, we formed a Hall of Fame for sports.
I had heard a little bit about that. Tell me what's going on with that.
We're having their induction banquet tomorrow night, and I'm not familiar with some of these folks, but we picked 4 from each high school or from each community. I
Yeah.
should say community because it's not just high school.
Yeah, yeah.
Charlie Mabry from Summertown, who was an official, basketball coach Butch Clark, or he might have been a player too. Somebody can help me out with that.
Yeah.
And then Janice Garland Nelson, who played basketball, I think, back in the 60s and early 70s.
Yeah.
Is Steve Keaton, youth coach from Summertown. So
That's right.
congratulate those folks. From Lawrence County is Alan Betts, who is a big instrumental factor in the Babe Ruth baseball here.
Well deserved.
Yep, got a couple of World Series here. Jay Chapman, who played on that 64 football team and was a basketball.
Yeah.
If you asked him, he was a phenom for basketball. Rick Lanning,
Yeah, I talked to Rick yesterday. He was
Yep.
telling me about this a little bit.
yep, he's being inducted, and he's quarterback, I think, of the 77 football
Yeah,
team.
he was. Yeah.
Got a scholarship down to Louisiana Tech. Is
Yeah,
that where it
I think
was?
that's right. Him and Bill Adams went down there together, I think.
Yep, and I think Bill Adams is going to do the induction of him. And then I have the privilege of inducting my good buddy Jack Cheatwood.
Yes.
So Jack, if you know Jack Cheatwood, he was right here behind these mics
That's
right here
right.
at WDXE for
That's
many,
right.
many years.
That's right.
But he was also the play-by-play guy for Lawrence County High School.
Yeah, did it for many, many years. He sure did.
It's going to be a privilege to put him in. And then from Loretta, Simon McDowell, who was very instrumental in youth football. Gary Lamb,
Yeah.
baseball coach. He was not only was he at Loretta for state champions, and he deserves to be recognized as Loretta.
Yeah.
They named the field down there after him. But Gary is going in, and after winning some state champions, I know one of them, I was there at Loretta. So congratulate. But he also coached at Lawrence County High School too.
Yeah, yeah.
And then a young man who passed away before his time was Jason Jake Brown, and he was a national ATV racer.
Oh, really?
And then Kelly Weathers. Kelly, of course, is Ryan's mother, and she was a star in her own right.
Yeah.
Basketball at Loretta, and then went on to where did she play at Belmont?
You got me. I don't
I
know.
think so.
How about that?
But Kelly Weathers, well deserving there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So we'll have that tomorrow night, and we've got a lot of people lined up to come in and celebrate those folks' accomplishments. And
That's neat.
so
That's very, very neat.
and we got a lot of people that are deserving to get in there that we haven't got to yet.
And they will eventually. Yeah, that's right. I'm sure they will at some point. That's kind of neat.
Yeah, we were talking about that even when Mickey Dunn was still alive,
Yeah.
and some of those older guys could remember guys from way back then. So there's some folks that I hope to nominate next year.
It's been well, Lawrenceburg, Lawrence County, all these schools have got a legacy. And sport, I was telling my son many years ago, back even before really my generation, I think it kind of died out as I was growing up, but communities had baseball teams.
Oh yeah,
Just here and there, they had these communities had baseball teams.
yeah.
And baseball fields. I remember seeing one it was one that my dad took me to when I was just a boy. It was over in Giles County at Minor Hill, and there was just a makeshift baseball field out there. And they had a team to play baseball.
Yeah.
And that was not uncommon at all in all these little communities around to have a baseball team. I think that's neat.
Oh yeah, it was probably. I mean, I guess guys got out of high school and started working, and they still wanted to compete, and so they got. They were probably pretty good baseball players, and you had to, you talk about tryouts, you had to make the team.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I got a friend of mine. He was a former professional. He's up in Missouri, and they have a Hall of Fame for amateur baseball players, and he's in that Hall of Fame, and he's like 66 or 67.
Yeah.
And he still pitches, fast pitch.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, he'll pitch 1 or 2 innings. He said, I can't go any further than that. And he's left-handed, so they like that.
The girls, you mentioned the Lady Vols.
Yeah.
One of their pitchers, and I don't know who it was, but I saw just a video of her pitching. I don't think I could hit that ball.
Those girls, they can sling it.
I don't think
they're fast.
I don't think I could hit that ball.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's pretty awesome.
I was thinking about Ryan. I thought, what if I got up there and faced a Major League Baseball pitcher?
Yeah, I'd like to try that. Would you?
I couldn't even foul it off probably. I'd be so scared he's coming in on tight with me.
Yep. Oh my goodness. I would ask him to be gentle. Let me hit one.
Yeah. Let me get a bunt down at least.
All right, Stanley.
Well, Social Security, you mentioned that. I'll give you a piece of bubble gum if you could tell me who Ida Mae Fuller was.
Ida Mae Fuller.
Ida Mae Fuller, 1940.
I'm going to miss my piece of bubble gum. I may have heard that name. I've heard Ida Mae.
She got check number 00000000001.
Really?
She was the first recipient of Social Security. Her check was $22.54, which today would be about $538.
How about that? $22.54.
That was the first check issued by Social Security to a recipient on a monthly basis.
Ida Mae Fuller. Well, that's a good record to have, I guess.
Yeah.
So how many, I won't even ask you that. I was going to say how many billions of dollars have been paid out by the Social Security
there's
system?
no telling. Trillions.
Trillions,
Yeah. Trillions.
Yeah.
Yep, she got that. And here's what the interesting part about Miss Ida Mae Fuller is. She lived to be 100 years old.
Really?
So she got her check for a long time.
Well, how about that?
And it started in 1936, it was formed, well, actually, they first collected in January of 1937.
Okay.
So it came out then, and you had to, but it wasn't for everybody. It was mostly for workers in factories and businesses.
Okay.
They excluded some people, and let me get to that page here real quick. They excluded farm workers, domestic servants, self-employed individuals, government employees, non-profit sector employees, and if you were already 65 or older, you didn't get to participate either.
Okay.
So I'm thinking, okay, what was Lawrence County like in 1936?
Oh,
It was
wow.
mostly agriculture. There was,
Yeah.
you know, my dad grew up on a farm. He was probably, at that
Yeah.
time, he'd been 11, 12 years old, and he was behind a plow and a mule, plowing the field up.
So Social Security didn't
But
affect
they
a lot of
didn't-
people here yet.
Then they had sharecropper families on this land, you know,
Yeah.
so that,
Yeah.
that didn't, so imagine majority of the people in Lawrence County did not participate in Social Security when it first started.
Probably not.
When I say a majority, that's 51% or higher. So
Yeah, yeah, probably
I'm sure
not.
it was that.
Probably not. You're right, being the farm community. I don't think I realized that, but of course, that was a long time ago, and a lot of laws have changed the Social Security system since then, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, there's been a ton of changes, and I'll go through some of the changes that they made, but when it first started out, the initial rate was 1% for the employee and 1% had to be paid by the employer. Now, it's 15.3% combined, and about 2% of that goes to Medicare. So if you've been working your first FICA withholding check
Yeah.
when you were 16 years old,
Yeah,
you've been paying into Medicare for a long time. And of course, Social Security too.
right.
But Medicare came along in 1965.
Okay.
But you've been paying for that all these years. Wow. So that was, and I think they said that any earnings over $3,000 were not taxed, but $3,000 in 1937 was quite a bit of money.
That was
back
2 or 3 houses.
then. Yeah. And you got to remember, this was right in the middle of the Depression.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And that's what FDR wanted to do, is try to give some relief to people that didn't have any money for retirement.
Yeah.
So Social Security came along. It was supposed to be a supplement to your retirement. It's
Well,
not supposed to be just your sole source.
When did the idea of retirement in general just take hold and come across anyway?
Then,
It was then.
yeah,
Yeah,
because people worked.
Yeah, the idea
You
of
worked till you died,
that's-
basically.
yeah, the idea of retirement is a relatively new thing.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's 100 years ago.
I mean, it's an acceptable practice with us now, and we kind of assume it always. But in generations past, there was
well,
no
you
such
didn't
thing.
hear the word retirement.
Yeah,
I mean, way back.
Yeah.
You just, what happens is you work, your health starts failing you, as
Yeah.
we mentioned earlier
Yeah.
about health. Your health starts failing you, and usually you went to live with a family member
right.
when you got older.
Yeah,
And your spouse dies, so you're left alone.
yeah,
Now, there was a lot of people that lived by themselves. My grandmother lived by herself till she was 90 years old.
oh yeah, yeah,
But my mother went up there, took care of her, and took her shopping, and
Sure.
she couldn't drive as much.
Sure.
Well, I don't think my grandmother ever learned how to drive. But she was a widow for probably 20, 25 years, lived by herself.
yeah,
But growing up, my mother had her grandmother lived with them.
yeah,
So that's what they did back then.
yeah.
Family took care of family.
Oh, I remember even in my childhood memories, my grandmother and her mother and dad, they all lived together for a while.
Yeah.
So my great grandparents and my grandparents were in one household there for a while, at different times, and they just it was just the way it was.
Well, you didn't have assisted living. You didn't have
Yeah.
nursing homes.
Now, in my generation, they did, but for
Well, back in the
our
30s.
home circumstances,
Yeah.
that was just what they did then, and eventually, I think,
That was a good comment you made about the word retirement.
yeah,
I mean, it's fairly new. I
Yeah.
mean, it'll be 100 years in about 12 years from now, but
Yeah.
since the Social Security was created, but I mean, people didn't retire. They just kept on
Right.
working.
Well, now we expect it and we try to plan for it, and that's a lot of your world.
Yeah, I mean, you won't, more than likely you got a 401k or some sort of, if you're working for an employer,
Yeah.
especially a large one, or even a small one, you've got a 401k.
Yeah.
And that, in our day, our parents had pensions.
Yeah.
And pensions were funded by the employer.
Yes.
It's called a defined benefit plan.
Right.
And they said, okay, they have this formula. You work so many years, you reach a certain age, and you average this amount of money over your career with us. Well, then we're going to pay you a pension,
Yeah.
or a stated amount of money. Well, that was good. So you had your pension coming in, but then you would qualify for Social Security. So now you got 2 checks coming in.
Right.
And then if you work for more than one employer, you could have 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 checks coming in. Depends on how many pensions you had.
Right.
But of course, the longer you stayed at a place, the bigger your pension was going to be.
Sure.
So you didn't see these people hopping around and moving around.
Right.
They stayed with one company
And that
their
was
whole career.
that was intentional.
Yeah, I mean, it kept the, it helped the employer because they didn't have to go train new people.
Right.
And pensions were the way to attract, excuse me, was the way to attract quality workers
Right.
to your company. So they said,
And an
yeah,
incentive for them to stay with the company.
yeah, well, and unfortunately, Murray of Ohio, when they came here, they had a pension for folks.
Yes.
And they're at the later tail end of their cycle of business there. Some of the managers got their pension cut because it went bankrupt.
Yeah.
Because they could not meet the obligation of making the payment to the pension plan.
Right.
So just like FDIC is for banks that go under,
Yeah.
there's a insurance policy for pensions.
Okay.
So Murray had to go get the money out of that to pay their obligations.
Okay.
So that's kind of a side note there.
Yeah. It caused a lot of hardship for a lot of people too. So.
Right.
Yeah.
But in the late 70s, there was the word 401k comes from the tax code.
Yes.
And there was an accountant up in New Jersey, and he said, wait a minute, this would work good at this hospital that we have a client of ours.
Okay.
So he went to the hospital, and they looked it over, and they said, no, we don't want to do that. So he went back, and his accounting firm probably had about, 30 or 40 people. He said, well, we can do that here. So he created the first 401k for a business, but it was in the tax code all this time. And
Okay.
nobody took advantage of it.
Okay.
So it became popular. And what happened was it transferred the risk for the payments out of the pension from the employer over to the individual. Now the individual was responsible for their own retirement.
Yes.
They couldn't depend on a pension
Right.
because a lot of pensions have gone away. I remember Graphic Packaging's pension went away about 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Yeah.
So they consolidated it all, people could take their money out of the pension and put it in their 401k. And it relieved the employers of that. It was a debt.
Yeah.
That's what it was. I mean, it was an obligation to promise to pay these employees.
Right.
That's what a pension is.
Yeah.
But now you're responsible for your own retirement.
Yeah.
You're responsible for putting money into a 401k. You're responsible for picking out the investments that you want. You're responsible for how much money you want to put in there.
Right.
So that's,
A 401k's been around for a while, and most people kind of know a little bit about them because it's just been pretty common. But for
well,
someone,
they didn't get popular till the 80s.
yeah,
It
yeah,
was the 80s.
yeah. So, but now we hear about them a lot. But what exactly are they?
401k?
Yeah, just to kind of how does it actually work?
It's you fund it out of your paycheck. That money has not been taxed.
Right.
It goes into an account, a 401k, and you let it sit there, and it builds up tax deferred,
Right.
and you can't take it out without a penalty until you're age 59 and a half.
Right.
When you turn 59 and a half, now some of them are 55, but when you turn 59 and a half, and this is also an IRA rules too.
Yeah.
there's no 10% penalty by the IRS. The IRS, if you take it out before then, the IRS will charge you 10% for an early withdrawal.
Yes.
But when you do take the money out, because it's not been taxed yet, it's taxed as ordinary income.
Yes.
Now, I'm no tax expert, so don't.
But it has tax implications because and
does.
that's the thing. There's tax deferred savings.
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah.
But once you access that, then it becomes taxable in one form or another.
Yes. And I'll get to, when you're taking Social Security out, I'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
Because some people don't want to retire. They like their job.
Right.
They want to continue working.
Right.
But the government says, okay, if you're still working, but you take your Social Security, then we're going to tax you on your Social Security.
Yes.
This money already yours. They
Yeah.
want to tax you again. They don't want you to take your Social Security if you're still working.
I know.
That's the reason for it. So people put off taking their taxes, and I'll go over my con job here in just a moment too.
Okay. Well, I'm anxious to hear it.
But the 401k, to answer your question, in IRA, you can take your 401k and roll it over into a IRA after you retire or when you leave that company. Now, there's a lot of people nowadays don't work for the same company for 40, 50 years. They got maybe 3 or 4 companies they've worked for over their life.
Right.
And amongst different reasons, where they've got a better job somewhere else.
Sure.
Or that company's gone out of business,
Sure.
whatever.
Lots of reasons.
So you can take your old 401ks and roll it over into an IRA. And if you got like 2 old 401ks, then you can combine them and roll it over into an IRA. Now, rolling it over means you don't have to pay taxes on that money. And you don't have to pay a penalty on that money if you're under 59 and a half.
Right.
So you can roll that money over tax exempt right now, tax deferred. And then when you do retire, you can tap into that IRA for an income, or if you don't need it right now, you can let it grow. And now with our people, I was born in the 60s.
Yeah.
I don't have to do a required minimum distribution or RMD until I'm 75 years old. Now, a lot of people, they have this qualified money, which is qualified money is money that's not been taxed yet.
Yes.
The government controls it basically. So you've got this qualified money now, and you start taking it out, you got to pay income tax on that.
Okay.
So there's some people say, I don't need the money. I mean, I've got other money and I got other assets that I can live off of. I don't need that money.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? The government says, yeah, you do. You're going to have to start paying taxes on it.
Okay.
So they require you to take it out. And there's an IRS formula based on your age and your life expectancy, and they divide that into whatever your balance was on December 31st of the prior year. So if you had $100,000 in your 401k or $1 million, or whatever it may be, then they take that factor and say, okay, you got to take out X number of dollars this year.
Once you reach this age.
Once you reach a certain age, yeah. And 75 for me,
So
they moved it up. It used
so
to be
even
70 and a half.
if I'm understanding you right, are you telling me that if you have an IRA with $500,000 in it, once you're that age, you have to start taking that money out?
Yes. The government wants the taxes on it.
Well, bless their
Now-
hearts. Well, bless their little hearts.
Now, if you take out the minimum distributions and you live to be 80, 85 years old, and you die and your spouse is not living,
Yeah.
now you can transfer it to your spouse without them paying a tax on it.
Right.
But if it goes to your kids or
Your
nieces
heirs.
and nephews or whoever that's not a non-spousal beneficiary, they have to pay taxes on that.
Yeah.
So if some people's got over $1 million in their 401k.
Yeah.
And if they die, then those people have to pay taxes on that $1 million.
Whoever the heirs are.
Right. So the government's going to get their money one way
Well,
or the other.
it's the good news and bad news. The good, the if if you're the inheriting that, you're getting money that you didn't have, but you also have to pay taxes on it.
Yeah. But I recommend, a lot of people get in their 50s and they go, wow, man, I got like 10 years, I'm going to be 65 years old. So they're 55 then, and they go into their HR people and say, hey, I want to up my 401k contribution.
Yeah.
I always say, if you have a match from the employer, which
Yeah.
a lot of people do, a lot of plans have that.
Right.
Say they match 6%.
Yeah.
Always put up to 6% in there, because if you don't, you're just leaving free money out.
You are.
Now,
That's
they
right.
have a vesting schedule. What that means is the longer you're there, the more of that money that the employer contributes is yours.
Yes.
The first year it may be like a 5-year vesting. That's
Yeah.
20% every year.
Right.
So let's say you left in the third year, then you're not going to get all of your employer's contributions. You're only going to get 60% of it.
Right. Right.
But if you stay 5 years, you get 100%.
Which is what is meant by being fully vested.
Right. Fully
after,
vested.
after you've got it all.
Good
That's right.
word.
That's
Good
right.
word. So then,
Yeah. Okay.
then you can, but going back to age 55, people looking at retirement, they start dumping a bunch of money in there. They want to up their 401k contributions to
Right.
like 15%. You know, they're going to get matched on the first 6, but now they're putting 15% of their own money in there.
Right.
And actually 21% of their income is now going into the 401k.
Yeah.
Which, that's good, that's okay.
Yeah.
But remember, when you take it out, you got to pay income taxes on it.
Right.
So I tell people, have you another account over here putting money into that has already been taxed?
Yes.
Because we don't know what taxes you're going to do. We're in a crisis, and we don't know who the next administration is going to be.
Yeah.
We don't know what taxes are going to do. But right now, historically, taxes are low. You may not think that, but historically they're low. I mean, in the 50s, the 1950s, when Eisenhower was in there, the highest tax rate was 90%.
Really.
Ronald Reagan, who was an
That's
actor
right.
at the time,
That's right.
his famous story about that is, he says, you know, I'd go make a movie and make some money, and then when I got up to $200,000, after $200,000, they were going to tax me 90%. He said, I just went to the Beverly Hills Hotel and laid out by the pool until the year was up. Because he said, why do I want to work making more money?
For only 10% of what I make?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he said,
Yeah.
forget that.
And that's an understandable attitude, I think, on that much of a tax.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, 90%. So historically, right now, taxes are low. And I know people don't think that, but
Well,
gas is not.
honestly, you know, with that in mind, if you know his history, they're lower than they've been
Yeah.
in the past. But so they're still, nobody likes taxes anyway, no matter how much they are.
No. It's you know, we didn't have an income tax. You know, we're going to celebrate our 250th year, and we didn't have an income tax till 1913. So they had a little one during the Civil War.
Yeah.
But that went away after the war was over.
1913.
1913, and that's also the time when they formed the Federal Reserve.
Yes.
So that's, some people say that was the downfall of our country, starting right there in 1913.
Really?
Yeah.
What's their theory behind that?
Well, you got basically a national bank. The Federal Reserve can, you know, they're so powerful that if they just move the interest rate 0.25%, it affects the market.
Yeah, it affects everything.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're in the real estate business, you got people wanting to buy a house, and they go, I'm not going to buy a house until the interest rates get lower.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and historically, they've been 7, 8, 9, 10%.
Yeah.
You know, and now we've got 2 generations of people that have seen interest rates so low. I mean, they think anything over 3% is too high.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? That was a great rate.
Yeah,
You got a
that was historically almost unheard of.
Yeah, if you got a rate under 4%, don't
Yeah.
keep it and don't touch it.
I agree. I agree.
But the Federal Reserve, yeah, they can manipulate the economy. They've got a lot of power, lots of power. And it was all done on an island, Jekyll Island, off of Georgia in 1913, and that's before air travel was around. You had to get on a train to go back across to California or the West Coast.
Yeah.
Well, it happened like it got passed in Congress when most of the Congress people were out for Christmas break.
Yeah.
It happened right before Christmas, and all of the Eastern bankers are the ones that were in favor of it because they were going to make tons of money, and they've made tons of money off of it.
Yeah.
So that's how that came about.
Interesting stuff.
But the last segment here, I know that you know, the burning questions about Social Security is when to start it, And if I do start it and I want to keep working, how much money can I make
Yeah.
without it being taxed?
Yeah.
So going to the first part, when to start it.
Yeah.
I've heard so many people with so many different opinions about it. You know, and it comes down to an individual decision. If you're 62 years old, you can take Social Security, and you're going to be. Social Security has a number, a monthly benefit for you at a retirement age.
Yes.
What year were you born?
61.
Okay, you and I have to reach 67 for our retirement age.
Yeah.
Anybody from 1960 on is 67. Anybody in the 50s is it's about 66 and some odd months. Depends on what year you were born. So you have that full retirement age, and that's important because that determines your monthly benefit. Now,
Right.
if you're 62, they take that monthly benefit and minus 30% of that, and that's what you're going to have, and you're locked in for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You can wait until you're 67. Some people wait and they go, well, I'm going to get Medicare when I'm 65. That age has not changed.
Yeah.
So they wait till they're 65, but then they go, well, I'm going to start taking my Social Security now because I'm taking Medicare.
Right.
Well, they do it because of convenience, because if you're taking Social
Right.
Security, they can take the Part B premium, which is like $243, $280, something like that now. They can take that directly out of your Social Security check to pay the Part B premium for Medicare.
Right.
So people wait. Some people start it rather at age 65. They don't.
Right.
They wait till then. And then you can start when you're 67,
Right.
and I'll tell you a little bit why you want to do that too.
Right.
And then you can wait all the way to age 70.
Yeah.
Now you can't go over 70. When you turn 70, you've got to turn on your Social
Right.
Security. And if you wait, then I think it's like 20 or 25% somewhere along there more that you get. And so you wait till you're 70 to do that. Now, if you are still working and don't want to stop working, but still want to get your Social Security, you can do that, but you're limited on how much money you can make. If you take your Social Security before your full retirement age, so you can only make $24,480. If you make over that, they deduct $1 from your benefit for every $2 you earn above the annual limit. So if you make $30,000 or $60,000, they're gonna take back that Social Security. They're gonna charge you for taking that back. Then if you wait until your retirement age, like I was telling you earlier, if you're born in the 60s, your retirement age is age 67. If you were born in the 50s, it's depending on what year you were born, it was 66 years and whatever months. But they also limit you there, but you can only make $65,160. So that's something to consider when you start taking your Social Security. Now, as I said earlier, it's an individual. You may be in bad health. You may need the money when you're 62. You may not have the money coming in, and you. By the way, you can go online on the Social Security website and fill out the information there, and it's a little process. They want to make sure you're who you are, and they have a little identity check that they do. But you can look at your statement, and it will show you how much money you were going to get at full retirement age at age 62, or if you become disabled. That's another thing that Social Security does, and a lot of people know this. They don't reach age 62 and they get disabled from a disease or an injury or something, and they can't go back to work. Then of course they go down and apply for Social Security, and you see a lot of people on that. But that statement will also tell you what your benefit is if you're disabled. So that's a good resource to have, is to go to the Social Security Administration's website and fill out those forms, and then after you do it once, you can go back and just remember your login. Don't be like me and forget your passwords. But remember those, and you can go back every year and check and see how much has changed. If it's more likely it's gone up, and of course the longer you wait. But going back to when to take Social Security, it is an individual decision. Yeah, you know, I've had people tell me, well, I put the math to it. I'd have to live so long. Remember my story about Ida Mae Fuller, the first person to get a check. She lived to be 100 years old. And nowadays, we're living longer. I had that somewhere, that men are living to be about 78, 79 years old, and women are living to be about 81 to 82 years old. But the longer you live, the chances of you living longer increase. So somebody that's age 70, they've got a great chance of living into their 90s. So when you lock in your Social Security, you're locked in it for the rest of your life. That's why you have to make that personal decision of when I want to take it. Now there's some formulas out there to help you figure that out, and I can help you figure that out. You just give me a call at 931-242-4495, and we can sit down and look at your Social Security statement and see when's the right time to take it. Some people don't want to take it because they may be in one of those jobs that have a pension, or they may have a 401k that they can turn into a retirement income. And so it depends on the individual. And some people don't have anything. They don't have a 401k, and didn't save up a bunch of money for retirement, and they need their Social Security. And that's fine too. It's there for those people too. But going back to the income, yeah, if you want to work past your, if you don't want to retire, I've had the question asked, well, I want to get on Medicare. I want to get on Medicare at age 65, but I don't want to take my Social Security. Well, how do I pay that Part B premium? Well, they'll bill you quarterly. So they won't do it monthly, they bill it to you quarterly. And so you write them a check for the 3 months premium for Part B premium. Also remember, when you start on Medicare, there's income limits, and I'm sorry I don't have that in front of me right now, but there's income limits, depending on if you're single or if you're married, that your Part B premium may go up. If you make too much money, they will put a surcharge on your Part B premium, and it'll be higher than the normal premium. So you have to be careful of that too.
Sorry about that. Just step out of the office for a second.
Oh, that's fine.
All right.
But starting your Social Security that's a personal decision that you have to make. Now, for people that are waiting to be 70 years old,
Yes.
the government has come out with this plan that you call up there and say, hey, I want to get my Social Security. They go, well, wait a minute. We've got a plan now that will pay you a lump sum. And so if you're 70-year-old getting a benefit of at least $3,000 per month, that lump sum of $18,000 is very tempting, because they're going to pay you 6 months of whatever your benefit is. But you give up that increase. You give up it's about an 8% increase if you delay it from age 67 to 70, you're going to get about 8% more.
Okay.
But they cut that down to 4%. So you get a lump sum, you can get a lump sum at age 70, but your benefit will go down. Your monthly benefit will go down by 4%.
So if you wait to age 70, you can get a lump sum, but then you still get a monthly, but it's reduced.
But it's reduced.
Okay.
But if you look at the math on it, it's not worth it. So
Yeah.
you rather take the higher monthly amount
Yeah.
and get it over a period of time, because
Yeah.
you could live to be, like I said, when people live to age 70, the chances of you living into your 90s are greater
Yes.
than they were when you were my age at 63 now.
Yeah.
So, all we gotta do, Jeff, is make it to 70.
We got to make.
That's all we gotta do.
I'm getting closer, by the way. I'm getting closer and closer. Well, the numbers don't seem to make sense to me on Social Security to wait at all.
Yeah, there's people say, I don't want the government to have one time on my money. I
Yeah.
want to get it as soon as I can.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That's fine. If
Yeah.
that's, like I said, it's an individual decision.
Yeah.
Because there's some people that, they're working hard, they have a physical demanding job.
Yeah.
And they're ready to get out. And I understand that. And they got other income coming in, and they got their Social Security coming
Yeah.
in. it makes sense for those people.
Yeah.
But there's some people like me, I'm self-employed, you are too, you know, I've been putting money back and.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm gonna try to wait until at least 67, if not 70.
Okay.
And try to live off of my money that I've saved until I get to 70. Then I can start taking my Social Security and I'll have more money coming in every month then.
Interesting.
So, but it just depends on the person.
Sure.
And I'm not, I guess what I'm saying is there's no concrete right answer for everybody.
Yeah. It depends on your own circumstances. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Because there's so many tax questions, you know, involving your personal income.
Yeah, and again, I'm not a tax expert. I know a little bit to be dangerous with it, but I know.
Well, we got about a minute left, Stan. I want to make sure people know how to get in touch with you.
Yeah, call me at 931-242-4495. We've got
What I did.
need a paramedic in here?
I've nicked my arm somehow.
I know. I do that sometimes, and I go, where'd that come
I
from?
don't even know what I did.
But 931-242-4495. Right now, well, you probably saw it last year. Your Medicare premiums are going up. If you've got a supplement, all these companies, they didn't pick you out and say, hey, let's go up on this person over here in Lawrence County. They didn't do that. They went up on everybody. And all the companies went up on it.
Yeah.
And what happened was they didn't have a lot of claims during COVID. People were putting off elective surgeries, like if they had a hip replacement, knee replacement, or whatever. They were putting that off. They didn't want to go to the hospital while COVID was going on.
Right.
So their claims went down. So then, after COVID, people started going back to the hospital, started having these procedures done, and so their claims went back up. And then all of a sudden, their reserves went down, and they go, hey, we got to go up on our premiums to build our reserves back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what's happening.
All right. Well, folks, if you got more financial questions, want to think about retirement and how you might plan for it, call our friend Stan.
931-242-4495.
All right. And Stan's going to be a regular here on Wednesday mornings, and we'll talk.
Jeff, did you hear about the guy that went to his pastor?
No.
He said, I have a desire to live a long life, to live forever.
Yes.
He said, pastor said, that's interesting. You want to live forever? He goes, yes, sir. I have this strong desire to live forever. What would you recommend? Pastor said, get married. He says, you mean if I get married, I'll live forever? He goes, no, but the desire will go away.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I'll see you next week.
See you next week, buddy.
Well, that went quick. I didn't know how quick it would go through, but it keeps goes by fast.